Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm a little bit tipsy.
Yeah, he's fucking drunk and kept me waiting for an hour, but that's okay.
I was having sex as well.
Yeah, I thought that might have been it. Prig.
uh, look, it's been a busy week and a
Yeah,
stressful week,
yeah.
and it's all better now
Okay then. Well, I'm glad that's resolved. So,
and recorded. Anyway, so what are we doing?
what?
What are
Oh
we here for?
God. Okay. Well, whatever. Um, we are talking about my second film,
Oh yes, you are.
which is called Ed Wood.
It is from 1994. It's a Tim Burton film about the director Ed Wood.
Yes. Opening statements. What did you think?
Um. Uh.
Oh no.
Eh. It
Yeah.
was fine. It was fine. It hasn't blown me away. I don't necessarily want to watch it again anytime soon, but there were parts of it that I liked. One particular performance I really enjoyed.
Was it
Uh,
Martin Landau as Bela Lugosi?
we will get to it when we get to it. Actually, there were two performances that caught my attention,
Okay.
but Martin Landau as Bela Lugosi was one of
Yes,
them,
he is
and I
fucking
realised
brilliant in this.
that's very Ed Wood of me.
Yes. Well, yeah, this is one of my favourite films. I love.
Why?
Well, find Ed Wood. I find Ed Wood a fascinating character,
Okay.
and I like his little acting troupe. And he's got all the characters he surrounds himself with, and I like
Ah, yes.
the behind the scenes of the creative process. I think it's a good film for sort of people interested in creative stuff to watch.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I don't really know whether you want to go through it the normal way or whether you just want to do it sort of broad sweeps kind of thing.
Probably best to do broad sweeps because, to be honest with you, I haven't made that many notes about it, despite
That's
the fact
okay.
that it's not one of those things that it's easy to make notes about. Really, I didn't
No, that
think.
was my thought. It doesn't lend. It's not so much of a genre film, I guess, that it's easy to sort of go, this happened, then this happened. Sort of a broad biographic, biopic comedy thing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So yes, Ed Wood. Have you ever seen any of Ed Wood's films?
Um, no, but I had heard of one of them.
Yeah. Was it Plan 9?
It was Plan 9.
Yeah. I've seen Plan 9 and I've seen Glen or Glenda. And he's not the worst director of all time because there's
No,
some interesting things in there. Like Glen or Glenda is surprisingly progressive for the time. And Plan 9 is sort of interesting in a kooky way. And there's some good shots, like Vampira in that film. There's some good shots of her that are genuinely sort of well composed and creepy and artistic looking, you know?
wouldn't. I mean, by modern day standards, surely Tommy Wiseau would have the worst director of all time
Well,
award anyway.
I guess he's not as. I mean, that whole thing came about in the 80s, where there was a book called the Golden Turkey Awards that called Ed Wood the worst director of all time.
Yeah,
And
but you've got to update these things, haven't you?
well,
Based
that's
on
true. He's definitely not. I mean, you can say a lot about the technical prowess of his films, but they're not boring. And the worst thing a film can be is boring,
hmm.
I think. Um, yeah. So this film sort of catalogues the start of his filmmaking career. He goes from a theatre show that he's doing, which is sparsely attended, and the reviews aren't great. But at least they said the costumes were realistic.
Oh
um,
yeah,
yeah, and it's him doing Glen or Glenda, which is based on it's like an exploitation film, is the original brief that he gets, based on the Christine
yeah.
Jorgensen story, and he sort of turns it into this a biopic of himself and his own I don't know, transvestitism, cross-dressing stuff. I don't know what
He
we call it
refers to
these days.
himself as a transvestite.
Yeah, I don't know whether that term's
So
still in use.
probably not, but for the context of
Yeah,
we're talking about the film and I
yeah,
think it's appropriate for us to use that term.
yeah, yeah. He sort of turns it into his own biopic stuff. Um, and it's Glen or Glenda, Bride of the Atom, which is later called Bride of the Monster, and his biggest film, Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Mm.
And along with that, it sort of goes through him meeting his sort of core troupe of characters, most notably Bela Lugosi. played by
Yeah.
Martin Landau. You got Bunny
One
Brett.
hell of a performance.
Yes, it's brilliant. He won an Oscar for that. It's great.
I honestly, there were very few parts of this film that were like, I want to see what happens. No offense, I know you like this film.
That's
It
fine.
wasn't gripping me for the most part.
That's fine.
But the character of Bela Lugosi, and I know
Yes.
it's hard to call it a character when it's a biopic like this.
Yeah.
But the character of Bela Lugosi was one that I was like, I want to see how this goes. I
Yes.
love his lines. I love his demeanor. I love his performance. I love it,
Yes.
and I want to see more.
Well, I'm glad you got something out of it. Yes, he's great in this. It's a brilliant performance. I don't think he swore quite as much in real life.
He did swear a lot, yes.
Yeah, but he does have some let's shoot this fucker. And
Yes, when he just before he gets in the quote unquote lake with the squid.
yes, that they've stolen.
Yes.
And he has to writhe about, and he has this moment where he's like, I should not have turned down Frankenstein. I should have done that. How the hell did I come to this?
I thought he was debasing the fact that he was beneath him at that point, and now all of a sudden he's a little bit
It's
drunk,
like I should
little
have
bit high.
said yeah to that. Yeah, yes, his frequent battles with heroin. I know Bela Lugosi's family. I think his son came out and said that he felt Ed Wood had sort of taken advantage of him.
Yeah, I mean, from that performance, I can from his film, I can absolutely see that. There's that bit, isn't he, where Ed's telling him about the reporters are going to exploit him, and it's like, yeah, but hang on a minute, Ed.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Johnny Depp's performance in this film, and there's a lot of naivety and optimism about it, but there's also sort of it's hard to tell sometimes whether he's just utterly naive and optimistic, or whether he's okay with bending the truth to see his vision through.
He's a grifter.
You can absolutely interpret the character in that perspective. Absolutely. Like the bit that sticks out to me is when he's trying to raise the funding for Plan 9 from the evangelist people who want to make a film about each of the 12 apostles. And his argument is, well, you make one film and it makes a shit ton of money, and then you pour that into the other films. Like, it's sort of hard to tell whether does he believe that his movie is going to make a lot of money, or is he just thinking about getting his film made and damn the consequences?
I took it very much as the second one. I think he's had enough failure at that point. Not necessarily failure. It's not gone well enough at that point for him to be that optimistic about their chances. I think he's in it for himself at that point.
I think you can absolutely interpret it that way. I think that's an entirely valid view. I think it's interesting that sort of aspect of the character comes more into play after he meets the amazing Criswell, the Foley TV psychic, who explains that his entire thing is bullshit. And it's just like, if you look like you know what you're doing and you sound like you know what you're doing, it'll get you a long way.
It's the whole, if you're wearing a high vis and carrying a clipboard, you can go
get
pretty much
anywhere. Yes. Yeah, I one of the things I've always really liked about Ed Wood is this feeling of this family of weirdos and our misfits who sort of come together.
Yes.
There's that lovely scene. I think it's the rap party for Bride of the Monster, which takes place in the slaughterhouse of the guy who funded it, and they're all having a great time. And Bunny Breckenridge is there with his Mexican band that he brought back from Mexico because he wanted to have a gender reassignment, and the whole thing was a write-off, so he came back. And Tor Johnson is like being very sympathetic. It's like very matter of fact. I heard you were becoming a lady. What happened? Which is sweet. And then Ed Wood comes out in drag and starts dancing and dressing and playing about with people, and it's this real family of weirdos that I really like. I just really like the tone of this group of people who were all sort of, I guess, losers.
They're the outcasts of their group, really.
Yes, coming together to make shit films.
I I did make a point actually of noting that Sarah Jessica Parker's character, whose name eludes me at the moment,
Yeah.
Dolores, is it?
Yes,
Yes. She seemed the most quote unquote normal person
she
in the
is.
movie.
Yeah, she is.
And I did feel a bit bad for her at times.
Well,
Obviously, her views are somewhat bigoted by modern day standards,
mm,
but taking it in the context of when it was, I can understand her having the outlook that she has.
well, it's. I mean, that's definitely part of it. But she also mentioned that she's like paying the rent and
Yeah,
supporting him, and she
yeah,
has
yeah,
some
yeah.
good
So
ideas
she's
that help him, and he like gives her part away, and is not particularly
he's
brilliant to
taken
her.
advantage of her.
I mean, that's definitely one interpretation. I mean, there's two ways to interpret the character. One is that he's maybe a bit more manipulative, and the other is that he's sort of naive and optimistic, and that maybe he doesn't even consider all the stuff his girlfriend's sort of done for him and how this might affect her because he's so wrapped up in the creative process. Um,
Hmm.
but either one is completely valid. Um, yeah,
Patricia Arquette was in it,
yeah, she is. She plays his later girlfriend.
and I put that she was surprisingly chill so long as she can get boned.
Yeah, she was. Yes, that was the one question she asked. Is that when he tells her he likes dressing up in women's clothing? Does that mean you don't like having sex with women? He's like, no, I love having sex with women. It's like, okay,
Yeah, all right then,
sold.
we can make it work.
Yeah,
As long as all she cares about, as long
yeah,
as she can get shagged.
yeah. Um, I mean, just so many. It. This is such a quotable film that's so full of so many great lines for me. There's a bit where Bela Lugosi and Edward are watching Vampira, and Bela Lugosi comments on Vampira's jugs,
Yes.
and then does the thing with the hand from Dracula.
Hmm.
Um,
In fact, almost all the lines I wrote down from this are some of his lines.
yes,
So you've, I'm not getting anywhere near that goddamn thing. And one of them burned me on the Return of Shandu, whatever it
yes,
was called. Um, and where's the other one? Oh no, I've not got as many written down as I thought I did.
oh,
Oh, but his lines were the ones that amused me.
yes,
You get the odd one that amused me. Like we have when Ed's having a chat with that first producer, so he can make the sex change film.
yeah.
There's a couple. Is there a script? Fuck no, but there's a poster
Yeah,
suddenly.
yeah,
And
yeah.
what's the one thing that if you put it in a movie, blah 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 blah,
Tits.
tits. Yeah,
Yes,
you know,
he's I can't remember George something. He just
I
sells
don't know.
schlock,
Yeah,
shitty
and he
exploitative
knows it.
movies. Yeah, he's
He
completely
absolutely knows
yes,
that's his role in the movie world, and he's fine with it.
yes. And then Edward takes it upon himself to try and make art. He's like, no, I just wanted something exploitative. You lost me a fucking fortune. I never want to see you again.
If I see you again, I'll kill you.
Yes.
I think is
And there's the other executives. He brings Glenn or Glenda to them to show him
yeah.
as like a CV, and they sit and the three of them they watch it and they're like, is this a joke? This must be this is a joke, and they just start laughing along to it because it is ridiculous. Um,
Yeah, we get another famous director appear.
yes,
He meets his director. Well, I don't want to call him a inspiration, but he like a comparison. He references Orson Welles early on,
yeah,
and then he meets Orson Welles, as played by Vincent D'Onofrio,
yes. Who's
um,
yeah.
who also it seems voiced the Brain from Pinky and the Brain. Because
Well,
those are uncannily similar voices.
I think Vincent D'Onofrio was like the body of Orson Welles, but I think somebody else did the voice.
Yeah, most like. I don't know without looking.
Yeah, but yeah, they
Apparently,
both.
I did look up. Apparently, the Brain is partially inspired by Orson Welles' voice
Yes,
ways, so
yeah.
it just makes sense that
Yeah.
they'd be similar. But I was looking at it, and I thought, hang on a minute,
Yes, and
this doesn't feel. When's he going to try and take over the world?
yeah, and they have a connection there because they're both sort of auteurs making their own films and railing against the producers and the system that's sort of trying to make decisions for them and trying to edit their work.
Yeah.
He
That's
doesn't
where he
mention.
decided to go ahead
Yeah,
and do Plan 9.
yeah. I mean, he's fine, but Orson Welles doesn't blink at the fact that Edward is in drag. Is in, well,
No.
not in drag, but women's clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the opening of this film and the
Okay.
opening credits. It demonstrates really quickly that it understands the tone of Edward's films because there's like I mean, tonally and stylistically, Edward is taking. There's a lot of references and homages to like the 1930s monster movie type things when they're more gothic, but they're also like mixed with the 1950s stuff. You
Hang
get
on, I'm getting a phone call. I need to
no.
deal with this. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so stylistically, Edward's films are like a combination of the things he really likes about the 1930s gothic horror films and the 1950s trademarks of the time. So there's a lot of like nuclear stuff and giant monsters and things like that, and aliens. There's lots of aliens, Plan 9 especially.
Yeah.
But he's also got stuff like the undead and mad scientists in gothic castles and things like that. And Criswell coming out the coffin and the credits being on like tombstones and the giant octopus and the flying saucers. Tim Burton like clearly gets Edward. I read that one of the reasons why he wanted to make this movie is that Edward's relationship with Bela Lugosi reminded him of his own relationship with Vincent Price.
Okay.
Like they both really idolized these people from their childhood, and then they met them and they weren't getting so much work, so they helped them out a bit. Yeah.
It is interesting actually because as part of my looking into this, some of it even while we've been talking now, I hate to go back to it, but Orson Welles,
Yeah.
Played physically by Vincent, but
Yeah.
was voiced by Maurice LaMarche,
Yeah.
famous voice actor, who did the voice of the Brain from Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, you were right.
And apparently he based the Brain on 65% Orson Welles and 35% Vincent Price.
That does make sense. That does make a lot of sense.
So yes, that's just an interesting little factoid there.
Yeah. That's good. Are there any more things that sort of stand out to you that you want to talk about that you really liked?
I thought Bill Murray seemed like he was just having fun.
Yes. There's a great scene of him where they're getting baptized.
Yeah.
They ask him if he rejects the devil and evil, and he goes, "Sure."
Sure. Yeah. Like I see, I've been baptized a few times, and it's not fun.
Yeah. No.
It's not a fun experience.
No. No.
I did wonder if the theatre scene was a dream sequence. Given
the
you know,
first
at the end when he's when it's the Plan 9 one when it's quite a success in many ways. I wondered if that was potentially a dream sequence because it didn't seem in character with everything else that we'd experienced thus far. Considering the other premiere that we saw for Bride of a Monster, even their car gets basically nicked.
Yeah.
Like this isn't something that I expect to see of one of his premieres, but it wasn't revealed to be a dream sequence, so I guess I under-expected.
Well, there's kind of a dreamlike quality to it because Edward is meant to be, and I think he is an admirable figure in the film. You know, he has a dream, he pursues it despite all the obstacles and achieves it and lives happily ever after until the credits where it's revealed that he died an alcoholic making porn.
Hey, I got ahead of him on that one.
Yeah, I mean, in real life, there are differences in real life. I mean, I don't think Plan 9 had a premiere like this at all. I mean, he's right when he says it's the one he would be remembered for, because that's the one that sort of led to him being called the worst director of all time.
It's the only one I'd heard of the ones that we saw.
Yeah, it is his biggest work. I mean, even like them kissing in the rain and running away to get married, that's very sort of fantasy-ish. Um, but it's all in service of this idea that it's the film is about striving to live your dreams regardless of the obstacles.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I did notice the parallel of the first and last time we saw Bela Lugosi
Yeah, yeah, in the
being in a
coffin.
casket both times, because the first time he was trying it out for, well, in advance, and then the second time he was actually in on
I'm planning on
for real.
dying soon. He's a
So,
yes, and he's yeah, uh, yeah. Bela Lugosi. Does this film work without Bela Lugosi in it? I mean, for you, it probably doesn't, but for me, it still does. But
I
that,
thought he carried the film.
I mean, that relationship for me is such a big part of it. I mean, all the little acting troupe, all his, you know, colleagues and whatever, the cast and crew, when they all stand out. But Bela Lugosi is certainly the biggest. Um, and it just bothered me a bit that his funeral is shown to be like sparsely attended.
Hmm.
When in
You think
actuality,
they'd all turned up at least?
sorry,
You'd think all those would have turned up at least.
or who?
All the other quote unquote outcast freaky people.
Well,
They didn't all turn up.
they did.
Well, I mean, there was not enough people in there for it
Well,
to be the
no,
whole troop.
I mean, yeah, I mean, in real life, like Vincent Price and Peter Lorre and you know Boris Karloff and people like that were all there.
What, Boris was there as well?
Yeah, Boris Karloff. Yeah,
Well, at least his memorabilia doesn't outsell Lugosi's.
that's true. It makes sense. I'm glad Bela Lugosi got his because he is sort of an icon of horror. I mean, there's no sort of about it. You know, it's just a weird time when he was sort of on the trash pile. Um,
It happens though, doesn't it?
yeah.
There was also very early on we had a bit where Sarah Jessica Parker asks, "Does my face really look like a horse?"
Yes.
And I don't know why, but I've got vague memories of Sarah Jessica Parker and horse face comments being a
Yes.
thing.
It was. It was. And I sort of saw that too and looked into it. This is the first time that's mentioned.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yes, but it's not South Park sort of made it a big thing. But this is the first time Sarah Jessica Parker having a face like a horse comes up.
Fair enough. So it's a consequence of it rather than inspired by.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's another line I really like where Ed gets his new girlfriend's chiropractor to play Bela Lugosi
Mm.
and tells him to just cover up his face, and he's doing like impression. I think it's during the church service where they're about to be baptized, and he's like doing impressions. And Bunny Breckenridge
Yes.
says, "Great, now call Boris Karloff a cocksucker." So, yeah.
Again, I got the impression that Bill Murray was just having fun.
Yes, he is.
Uh,
He plays it
so
very well. Yeah.
you know, there's a bit when they're making the Plan 9, and you've got the Baptists
Mm.
being all, hey, you know that wasn't great because even the cardboard gravestones are moving. You know,
Yeah.
you've got to refilm that. And he says no one's going to notice. Filmmaking isn't about the small details; it's about the big picture.
Yes.
And I feel like that possibly was his downfall.
Well, I guess. I mean, one of the arguments is you can only have so many small little issues like that.
Before.
Yeah, like the scene where the actor who's playing the pilot comes on, and that's where the cockpit is, as it's hastily built behind.
Yeah, you're standing in it.
Yeah, things like that show up. Like Tor Johnson struggling to get through the door, and Ed Wood writes it off for like, well, he's a big guy, he probably has to deal with that all the time. I don't know whether if you get rid of all those little issues, all those little technical issues, the films are great. I don't know.
But there's no way of knowing, is there?
The writing's still really. He has such a distinctive writing style, Ed Wood. I mean, that that Criswell speech at the start of Plan 9 from Outer Space, where he says, we all have an interest in the future because that is where we will spend the rest of our lives.
Yes.
I mean, that's apparently from like a World Fair thing from the 30s, but he also says that future events such as these will affect you in the future.
Yes, the second use of the word future there did catch me.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
You just take out the first one, don't you, really?
Yes. Oh,
Worth noting, I'm 99% sure, I didn't double check, but I'm 99% sure that one of the of Ed's entourage, if you will, was
yeah.
actually in the film.
Who?
Conrad Brooks,
Okay. In what
um,
part do you think?
the bartender, or a bartender.
Hmm.
There was
That's
someone played a Conrad Brooks, and then a bartender was played by a Conrad Brooks, and it would make sense for it to be the same guy based on the fact that at the end he was still knocking about.
hmm.
I think he was the one who had his own, who was the leader of his own fan club.
Yeah, he does. He does appear. He is the bartender. You're right.
Yeah, it had caught my attention, but it
Yeah.
was not enough for me to double check it because I was fairly sure anyway.
No, it was. I know that. Oh, Kelton cop, Paul Marco.
Paul Casella.
Yeah, Paul Marco. Paul Marco was the guy who had his own fan
Oh
club.
no, because it was played by Max Casella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. He's a really interesting guy. There was a Jonathan Ross did a documentary about Ed Wood, and he went and saw him, and he's like obsessed with this small part that he played in 3 films. He's determined, or was determined, to milk that for everything he could get. Apparently, I've got a book about Ed Wood, and he used to get like really drunk and despondent about things, and beg one of his friends to like get him a rent boy for the night. And yeah, he did have his own fan club that he founded and might have been the only member of.
Well, I mean, you got to keep yourself busy.
I mean, it's sad, but again, he's one of those characters.
Mm.
Along with Vampira and Bunny Breckinridge and Tor Johnson and the Amazing Chris, they're all big, larger than life, memorable figures in their own right.
Mhm.
So yeah, and I think that core family of misfits is like that's probably one of the main reasons I really like this film. Um, I like that element of it. Bela Lugosi's great. I like Ed Wood as a character. I think you can interpret him as either hopelessly naive or maybe a bit more sinister to whatever extent you kind of want. And I like the behind the scenes of the filmmaking element of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is one of my favorite films.
I'm less partial, but I'm pleased I've watched it. I may not watch it again for quite some time.
That's right. I'm really glad you got Bela Lugosi out of it. I'm really glad you like
Yeah.
him.
I thought it was a wonderful performance.
Pull
and
the string, pull the string. Yeah, go on.
It was an interesting performance of an interesting character.
Yeah. Was there something else you really liked about this film? Didn't you say one of 2 performances? Was it Bill Murray? Was the other one?
No, it was Vincent. It was the voice of Orson Welles.
Yes.
Really caught me.
Yes.
I think basically we've covered everything that I would have wanted to say.
I think we have too.
No, there is one thing, but I'm going to avoid saying it because you'll only sigh at me.
No, go on. You want to fuck Vampira? You can say it.
Well, no, actually, I'm going to read the exact sentence that I wrote down.
Okay.
Other than the eyebrows, Vampira is a very visually attractive woman, and something about her general demeanor and attitude does something for me.
Yes. Is it? I figured you'd like her.
I just,
Yeah. I mean,
the drugs help, probably.
yes.
To quote the film.
Yes. Oh, Bela Lugosi.
Because I've never used terms like that myself.
Shooting up heroin and being pervy over Vampira. And the
We
little
get on so well.
the little kid who tries to grab her tits, and she tells him to fuck off.
Yeah, you see that's no, because there's something about that which it's terrible, and we're absolutely on her side there, right?
Yeah,
But it seems very real.
yeah, yes. That entire premiere is sort. I guess it's because they've been kept waiting for so long, and they've just gotten a bit rowdy because they've shown up late, and nobody really cares about the film. It's more just the experience of pissing about.
Yeah.
It's sort of it's kind of what those sort of so bad it's good films have sort of become. Like famously, Tommy Wiseau will show The Room, and it'll just be people joking and like you can't hear the film, you can't really watch the film because nobody shuts the fuck up in those things. So I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate cinema.
I don't go very often.
No. Um, yeah, I haven't really talked about this film too much, but I love it. I love the fact, just even the fact it's in black and white, I think adds so much. And the opening where the camera pans over Hollywood and it's all in miniature and just I love all of it. I love the 1950s style anyway. So that probably adds to it. It's just a great movie about the creative process. My next one will be better is something I've said in real life about my own work. Yeah.
You don't know that, though.
Well, no, neither did Ed Wood, but he kept going. That's the important thing. And then he died penniless and full of booze, and
Man, you won't die penniless because at least you'll have your Pokemon cards.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. I'm not going to labour the point. I really love this movie. One of my favourites, and I'm genuinely glad you like Bela Lugosi in it. That's all I really need.
It's a highlight of a film.
Yeah. So yeah, this has been a much shorter video than we usually do, mainly because we didn't go through it point for point, scene for scene.
It's hard to do.
It is. I watched it and I thought, you know what, I don't think this is not going to work. It's much better just to do an overall view of it. But yeah, that's Ed Wood, the second of my 3 films. I love it.
Would you like to know what our next film is?
Well, I have to choose a number, don't I?
Nope, I've already worked it out this time.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Well, if I were to give you a couple of clues.
Oh, let's see if I can guess it. Go on.
I want to see if you can guess it. Let me just. It is. Oh, hang on, that's not going to help me. It's from 2008.
Okay.
No idea yet.
I mean, there were a lot of films that came out in 2008.
There were. Okay. It's a black comedy drama crime thriller.
Is it Hot Fuzz?
No.
Oh shit. Okay, keep going.
The 3 main roles are played by Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, and Ralph Fiennes.
We're watching In Bruges.
We are watching In Bruges.
Okay.
What's wrong with In Bruges?
Nothing.
It's on your list.
No, I've seen it before, and I know it's loved by a lot of people, but I never really got it. I'll rewatch it and we'll talk about it next week.
You may surprise yourself.
I may, but that's what this entire thing is about: introducing each other to things that we like, and who knows? Who bloody knows? We'll see you next time, I guess, for In Bruges.
For In Bruges. Bye.
Bye.